Well, hello, my dear friends. Justyn Smith here. I want to thank you so much for click and play again today. Today we're looking at Psalm 112. We're simply calling it the Lord. Of course, L-O-R-D in all caps refers to Jehovah God, and we are very thankful for all that name entails and represents, just the very essence and being of who our God is as Creator, God, Supreme God over all things. There are verses in the Bible that give clear understanding that the Lord Jehovah God, the God of Israel, is the God of all gods. And as we look at the Lord here in Psalm 121, we are going to see that the Lord does four very specific things for His creation, specifically for humanity. The Lord helps, the Lord keeps, the Lord preserves from evil, and the Lord preserves my going and coming. So notice number one, the Lord helps me. It says in verse 1, 2, and 3, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. And there have been many commentaries who refer to the hills around Jerusalem and also prophetically speaking, what this entails with the Lord's coming, or even with what we look back to at the Lord's death, burial, and resurrection. But yet, we see very specifically on a very general understanding, the Lord is my helper. It says in verse 2, my help cometh from the Lord. So it's not the hills, it's just that's the direction of which he is looking to, and then to understand my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. It's very specific that this is the Creator God, the one who made heaven and earth, and by him all things consist. This is who our help comes through. And then in verse 3, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. So as we consider the help that the Lord gives, we realize our help comes from the Lord, who is very specifically referenced here as the Creator of heaven and earth. This is the God you want. This is the God who can help you. This is a God who has ears to hear, eyes to see, a mouth to speak. This is the God who is alive and very real. He will keep thee. He will sustain thee. He will help. Along the lines of verse 3, we see our second point, the Lord keeps me. So not only does the Lord help me, but the Lord keeps me. Let's read verse 3 again. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. So as we consider the understanding of the Lord, not just helping, but the Lord keeping, there is no better keeper than the Lord. Depending on who you are, what your likes are, and your background, you think of different things when you think of keeping or keeper. Maybe you're involved in sports and you think about a goalie, maybe in soccer or football, maybe in hockey, okay? Somebody who is keeping the goal, keeping the net from the puck or the ball touching it. And a good keeper does a good job at protecting. And when you think about the Lord being our keeper, he is a good job. He doesn't fall asleep on the job. In fact, if you noticed verse 3 and 4, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Any physical keeper of, a soccer game or a hockey game, they can grow weary, they can grow tired at all of the keeping that they are doing. Their job is never done. That's why they could have a rotation or somebody come in to fill their spot that is fresh and anew. But the Lord never needs another keeper. Okay, He is always only good. He is somebody who will be able to keep you no matter what. And in fact, He's got all power. He doesn't even have to sleep. Just imagine that. You and I, the more that we go without sleep, the more weary we become. But have you ever considered He never grows weary, even though He does not sleep? What an amazing God, who not only would help us and keep us, but be able to help us and keep us at all times, even when we need sleep. He does not. In fact, we read this in verse 6, "The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night." Doesn't matter what time of the day. Doesn't matter what time of the night, doesn't matter what is going on, He knows how to keep His own. Number 3, the Lord preserves me from evil. And as we consider this third point, we realize not only does He help, not only does He keep, but He also preserves from evil. When we begin to realize we need help in so many ways, we need keeping in so many ways, we then take it another level, another step to realize there's an enemy, there's an evil worker who's seeking to hurt me. But it says in verse 7, "The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil," not just part of it, not just some of it, but all of it. He shall preserve thy soul. And so I'm thankful for the Lord today. I'm thankful for how He helps me, how He keeps me, how He preserves me from evil. He's such a great God, such a good God, and I give Him the glory today. This is somebody that does something for me that I can't do for myself. Well, number one, I can't stay awake all the time, and number two, I'm not all-powerful. I'm not God, obviously, but He is. And He gives this promise of help. He gives this promise of keeping. He gives this promise of preserving me from evil. But then number 4, the Lord preserves my going and my coming. So where am I going? Where am I coming from? What direction am I facing? Now, I know it does matter which way my toes are pointed and the choices that I make, but read verse 8, follow along with me. "The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore." And when you think about the going in, coming out, when you think about maybe like a picture of a city and the gate and, my goings out and my coming in from this time forth forevermore, God is my protector. God preserves me. Something that my family and I often claim before God is along the lines of this very verse, but from other portions of the Bible. Like the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. And that is a preserving God. That is a safe-keeping God for somebody who's not trusting in chariots or in horses, but remembering the name of the Lord our God. So here we are today talking about a message simply called the Lord, and pointing out in Psalm 121 that the Lord helps, the Lord keeps, the Lord preserves from evil. The Lord preserves my going and my coming, and we are thankful for how the Lord watches over us. Today, you can join us in rejoicing over God's watch care. He is the good, chief, and gentle shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and I trust Him today. Do you trust Him, dear believer? Maybe you're not a believer. Maybe you need to learn more about Jesus Christ, His salvation. You can always reach out to us or visit aheartforrevival.com/believe. And there you can find out a little bit more about the wonderful salvation through Jesus Christ. I trust and pray that you know Him today and that your heart is encouraged as you seek Him through His holy word. I pray that you'll join us next time. Thank you for click and play. Have a blessed day.